And with that, let's let proceedings begin as we welcome Mark Smith to the stage. This is how this will work. Mark will sit there and just listen. And he has a screen right here so he can see everything that does indeed go on, and you can see it on the big screens as well. Now, Mark Smith learned his lessons well. The Halifax-born softball pitcher, entering the hall tonight in the athlete category, watched his father, Bobby, pitch superbly in Halifax senior leagues for many years. Then he observed his father as an umpire, teaching the rudiments of the game, calling the game with a quiet fairness that impressed both teams, game after game, such that Bobby is being inducted into the Softball Canada Hall of Fame later this month. Mark entered that hall as an athlete in 1999. We'll jump ahead to recent years when Mark slowed down his softball involvement to help support his family with employment as Fair Play Coordinator for Sport Nova Scotia, where he is now Director of Development. He learned fair play from his dad, desiring to teach young athletes the values of respecting the games they play, the players they compete with and against, the administrators who lead them, and the officials who call their games. Let's listen to what Scott Logan, Executive Director of Sport Nova Scotia, who works with Mark in sport development programs, has to say.
Mark, I wish I could be here with you tonight, but commitments don't make it possible. But I'd like to say to you, Bruce, and the event here this evening, that you couldn't have inducted a finer person. Mark Smith is an individual who is the class of my organization, and he's amongst a great crew I have here. But his reputation and his commitment to sport and giving back in terms of what he's gotten out of sport is something that is a real example for everybody here tonight. Congratulations, Mark.
Let us go back a bit. Mark Smith left Halifax in 1978. That's flattering. Is that Princess Leia? As a 19-year-old to pursue his dream of becoming the best he could be in softball. He played junior in Ontario. A year later, he struck out 22 batters in the first no-hitter ever pitched in Pan American Games history and helped Canada win a gold medal. He traveled and traveled and traveled, pitching all over the world for semi-pro teams in national and international championships. He won 3 Pan Am gold medals as a player and another in 1999 as an assistant coach of Canada's team. In 1992, his always potent bat drove in the winning run as Canada defeated New Zealand to win a World Championship gold medal at the International Softball Federation Championships. Let's hear from another international sports star, a member of the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame, elected as an athlete in 1994, and a woman who is married to this man, adored by the softball population.
It's nice to have the opportunity to speak to Mark's accomplishments outside of what we hear about tonight in his sport accomplishments, and they have been numerous. Much of Mark's life is spent with softball. He is constantly on the phone or in front of the computer talking with athletes, coaches, administrators of sport, of softball all around North America for the betterment of the sport of softball. I think softball is fortunate to have Mark involved. He dedicates so much of his life, believes so much in the value of sport for young people, and it's nice to be involved with his induction this evening. Thank you.
So she was in the hall 8 years before you, huh? All right, we'll continue. It's very flexible, by the way. Okay. In 1998, as a player, he helped the Halifax Jaguars win gold before the home folks in St. Croix, Nova Scotia, his first national gold in 5 tries, and he retired after that win. Yes, he has played with and coached national team member Todd King for many years, so let's now hear what Todd has to say.
I think Mark's ability to motivate through his pre and during game speeches set him apart from the rest, and also his ability to lead by example. I mean, most of the people that have played for Mark also played with Mark, and as I said before, Mark was the ultimate competitor, a fierce competitor, and a clutch player. So when Mark said go out and do something, you know that he had or could go out and do that exact same thing and probably one up on you. So it makes it easy to take direction from someone who's been there, who's performed in those situations, and he's a great leader.
Mark Smith has been an All-Canadian, the top hitter at Nationals, the top pitcher at Nationals, a 5-time All-World selection of the International Softball Congress, Softball Nova Scotia's Coach of the Year twice, inducted as an athlete to the Softball Canada Hall of Fame, and next year will be inducted to the International Softball Congress Hall of Fame. He has won 18 provincial championships, 4 United States state championships, bronze, silver, and gold medals at many levels. And tonight, he and Ann Dodge become the first husband and wife combination elected as individual athletes to the Nova Scotia Sport Hall of Fame. Let us give a very warm welcome to our newest Hall of Fame inductee, Mr. Mark Smith. I'd like to call the following presenters to the stage, please, to present the Hall of Fame certificate to Mark Smith: Ellen Van Veen, event marketing and community relations for Sobeys Atlantic, and to present the pin, a unique Hall of Fame moment here, because we'd like to call Bobby Smith, Mark's father, and soon to be in the Softball Canada Hall of Fame as a builder for his umpiring prowess. Bobby Smith, please come forward with Ellen Van Veen. Kind of tough on you, wasn't it?
Yeah, I wasn't expecting that.
We spoke on CBC about an hour ago. Tell me how, as a kid growing up, I know your brothers both were great basketball players, you were too. Why well, pretty good. Okay. It's your night, I'm trying to be nice here. Why softball, though, for Mark Smith?
Well, the man right there is the reason I played softball. You know, following my dad, I saw the tail end of his career as a player, and then following him as an umpire and hanging around the Commons. And there's so many players. Again, you don't want to mention because you will forget, but you know, the Lyle Carters who are here tonight, the Donald Rosses, the Denny Cleggs, the Cecil Jacksons, the Ed Malloys, the Stan Henigers. I mean, I can go on, but these were the people that I watched play ball, and my dad officiate, you know, when they competed. And I think, as with most, you know, children, you want to follow in the footsteps of a parent, and my dad was a quality, you know, softball player. He's a quality person, certainly, but certainly I would attribute my interest in the sport to his involvement.
You had so many phenomenal moments. Is there one or two that stand out?
Well, I think there's 3 that stand out. The first one would be 1982 when we won our ISC World Tournament, and Mom and Dad were both there for that, and that's the only time they were both able to be present for a major event for me. So that was extremely significant. I think in '92 when we won in Manila, 20 years after Canada had last won in Manila, was significant. And of course in '98 to win a national championship on home soil. And for me it was at the end of my career, and I really knew that would be it, win or lose. And to have my wife and family and friends and brothers and sisters and brother-in-law Mark, who's here tonight, and all of the ball players who are here that have come out to support and that I've been teammates with and competed against them. There's no greater feeling than to win, you know, a national championship, and that was the one championship throughout my career that I really had trouble. Winning. So to win that and win it at home, and to have Todd King and so many of the other guys who are here tonight be a part of that, who worked so hard to better the game in the province and have made such outstanding contributions, that certainly nothing could top that.
One last thing, many of the teammates and your coaches and players you did coach that we talked to said something that I don't understand, and perhaps you can fill me in on what this means. They said that you as a pitcher really liked to own the inside part of the plate, and that any batter who stepped in too tight against you might get one whizzed by his ear. Now, I have no idea what that means, Mark. Can you explain to me what this means in softball terms?
Well, I'm a firm believer that, that the pitcher owns as much of the plate as the hitter does, and it can be a bit of a game of intimidation, and I guess my perspective on it was if I knocked him down and he'd get up and stood in the same place, he had my respect. If he didn't, he had a long night. Okay.
Just one last thing. You are now a member of the Hall of Fame, joining your wife. Is this going to be like your year to gloat?
Well, it just means that I can walk beside her now instead of behind her.
Ladies and gentlemen, Mark Smith.